Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16 Update.
Good evening. We won't know until tomorrow whether or not the speed limit on some highways will be raised to 65.
The Senate tonight decided to put off a vote until tomorrow. Senators are trying to decide if they should override President Reagan's veto of a highway bill. Along with raising the speed limit to 65 on some rural interstates, the bill would also pay for a lot of highway construction projects. This morning, the Senate tentatively voted not to override, but since they were only one vote short of an override, Democrats called for a second vote. Well, after a lot of hemming and hawing all day long, the Senate this evening decided to call it a night and try again tomorrow. If the Senate overrides the veto, the highway bill becomes law. If the veto is upheld, the 65-mile-an-hour speed limit is dead.
Despite what you may have heard, Pennsylvania State Police say they are strictly enforcing the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Last week, State Police Commissioner John Schaefer raised some eyebrows when he told lawmakers that drivers on the Pennsylvania Turnpike will not get tickets unless they travel over 65. Well, today Commissioner Schaefer changed his tune, saying the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit is enforced.
Show that it saves lives.
And state police records back up that claim. Last year, troopers gave out 4,000 speeding tickets to turnpike drivers traveling between 61 and 65 miles an hour. The law says troopers using radar have to give drivers a 5-mile-an-hour leeway, but anyone clocked without radar at 56 miles an hour or more can be ticketed. The city of Wilkes-Barre wants its ambulances to respond to emergencies more quickly, so beginning Sunday there will be a change. Right now the two city ambulances are kept at Fire Department headquarters here on Ross Street, but officials are moving one of them to the Northeast Station on Cunningham Avenue. That ambulance will cover the north side of the city. The idea came up 3 years ago, but the mayor says hospitals in Wilkes-Barre were against the plan.
Both Tom McGroarty and myself have met with the hospital emergency people from the General Hospital and from the Mercy Hospital. And it is because of their change in their thoughts and opinions on this matter that we have taken this stance at this time.
The hospitals say they were behind the plan. The split of the ambulances means the two paramedics on duty will also be split up, and a part-time paramedic will be hired to fill in when one is not there. Some trash haulers in Luzerne County say a landfill is dumping on them by coming up with a plan to make them pay more to use the dump. Night Beat reporter Joe Ducey says the haulers went to a special meeting tonight of the West Side Landfill Authority where that plan was put on hold, at least for now.
The people in charge of the West Side Landfill say increased costs have forced them to increase rates for some haulers. But those affected say the increases, sometimes more than 100%, are too high. And the costs for non-authority member communities like Nanticoke, Hanover Township, and Ashley will have to be passed on to residents.
We have a garbage fee for the individuals. We can't raise it in the middle of the year. I understand. So we set our budget at the first of the year. We hoped it would hold true all the way through.
Leo McGowan says Ashley residents would have to pay $45 more a year in order to meet dumping costs. He and others packed this authority meeting in Plymouth Township, specially called because of the negative reaction. Here, members were supposed to go over each individual landfill contract, 5 communities, 27 private haulers. They wanted to decide which should pay it and which may not have to. But after half an hour it was decided this would take too long, so it will be discussed over the next 2 weeks and a decision will come at the April 21st meeting. Meanwhile, costs will stay as they were. So haulers don't have to pay the extra cost now, but that could change.
The way I feel right now, if they raise our rates to $12.50 like they want to, they're going to be pushing a lot of individual local haulers out of business.
The authority also awarded bids to start construction of a 4th dumping area here, and members voted to cut outside dumping by 60% in order to keep the current site going until the other one is constructed. But the answer to the big question, who will pay the increased dumping costs, won't be answered for another 2 weeks. Joe Ducey, Newswatch 16 in Plymouth Township.
There will be no raise in wages for Martz bus workers, but no pay cuts either. The 2-month-old Martz strike is over. Union workers today voted to accept the latest offer, which freezes their pay over the next 3 years. The vote taken today was 83 to 44. Martz had asked for a 6% pay cut, which workers rejected. Buses to New York and Philly will roll again on Friday with a full Martz schedule expected to go on Monday.
Coming up, what students around here have to say about President Reagan's campaign for more AIDS education in our schools.
Plus, later on, how do you celebrate April? Let us count the ways. All as Newswatch 16 Update continues.
Enterprise Aluminum Products. We understand the needs of contractors, do-it-yourselfers, and homeowners everywhere. We are your primary resource for major home improvement needs. For instance, consider seamless guttering, soffit and fascia material, windows, doors and casings, shutters, and of course, Wolverine siding. Enterprise Aluminum in Wilkes-Barre, enhancing the quality of life and increasing the value of your home. Call us toll-free today.
I actually found a way to improve my oven stuffer roaster. It still has the same delicious old-fashioned flavor, but it cooks in as little as 30 minutes. It's ready to use in just about any recipe, and you don't even have to carve it, because you can buy my oven stuffer roaster in parts. Imagine that. I took it apart, and it works even better.
Next week, state lawmakers are expected to take up Governor Casey's plan for a new liquor control system. Today, the governor turned over his proposed changes to the legislature. Among other things, you would not call it the LCB anymore, rather the ABC, Alcoholic Beverages Commission. Other changes, sales would be allowed on certain liquors and wines. Wholesale customers would be able to buy with credit cards. Different liquor stores would be allowed to have different hours. And state police would enforce liquor laws. Unless our state legislature okays a new liquor system, the LCB will go out of business at the end of June.
President Reagan came to Pennsylvania today to give his first major speech on AIDS. As soon as the president arrived in Philadelphia, reporters asked him whether children should be taught about AIDS in school.
I think that that particular subject should be taught in connection with values, not simply taught as a physical, mechanical process.
Mr. Reagan later told the Philadelphia College of Physicians that AIDS is America's public health enemy #1. The president predicted that doctors will find a cure for the deadly disease, but he also stressed that the best cure is prevention. And he says education is one of the best ways to prevent the spread of AIDS. Some schools in our area are already teaching students about the dangers of AIDS. Newswatch 16's Valerie Devine went to one of those schools in Monroe County today to find out how the AIDS education program is working.
I just think it's real important to spend time teaching it. It could save a lot of people's lives when they're educated about it.
As a junior at Stroudsburg High School, Rob Miller is in the majority. He'd like to know more about the deadly disease, AIDS. This is the first year the subject has really been taught in health classes like this one. But it still isn't a part of the school curriculum, and students like Patty Christian think it should be.
It could become an epidemic, and if it's going to affect the whole country and people are going to die from it, I think we should be able to protect ourselves from it.
Students here normally spend several months studying human sexuality. Students are taught how to be safe and responsible in relationships, and that even though many young people are engaging in sex at an early age, it's okay not to. Health and phys ed teacher Lynn Breedy says regardless of how the students feel, it's her job to teach them the good and the bad about sex.
I think that we need to provide all of the information and all of the facts that we have as they come down the line, so our kids are absolutely, completely educated.
Teachers here at Stroudsburg High School say they'd like to sit down at the end of the school year and reevaluate their health program. They say they'd like to devote more class time to the subject of AIDS. Not because President Reagan has suggested it, but because the students here in this school feel there's a need for it. Valerie Devine, Newswatch 16, Stroudsburg.
Pope John Paul has traveled to Chile on what he calls a mission of peace. In the past, the Pope has called Chile a dictatorship with serious human rights problems. But the pontiff says he did not come to Chile to preach politics. The Pope says the trip is exclusively a religious mission.
TV preacher Oral Roberts is asking for even more money. The evangelist has just completed an $8 million fundraising drive. Roberts had claimed he would die if he did not get the money by April 1st. Well, he had some good news for his viewers today.
It's April, and I'm alive.
You're alive. Hallelujah.
But Roberts says the $8 million is not enough. He says in order to keep his ministry going, he'll need another $8 million each year, every year, until what he described as the second coming of Christ.
Next, hopefully, meteorologist Tom Clark will have a forecast more fitting for April.
Yeah, it was a bit chilly this morning, wasn't it?
A bit chilly. And it won't be a hot tamale, I'll tell you that.
All right.
It doesn't look good. I've been pondering these maps all night, and we have more inclement weather on the way. We come back, we'll talk about that, and I'll show you what happened up in New England today. You're watching Newswatch 16 Update on WNEP TV. We're proud to serve Sonestown and all of Sullivan County.
Shop us first. Shop Father and Son for quality athletic shoes. 2 pairs, just $25. Shop us first. For Pro 500s that go anywhere and do anything. 2 pairs, just $25. Shop us first. For fast action athletic shoes on the corner off. Any 2 pairs, just $25. Shop us first. For the latest styles and colors, Father and Son has them all. 2 pairs, just $25. For style, selection, and savings, Father and Son. Shop us first.
Gear up for the fishing season with an 87 Johnson-powered boat from Robbins Marine. This 15-foot bluefin is equipped with steering, live well, pedestal seat, casting platform, and more. For only $39.95, this bluefin Johnson package comes complete with a galvanized trailer. Plus, for a limited time only, you'll get a free OMC tracker depth sounder worth $210. Stop in now at Robbins Marine, your Johnson outboards dealer in Milton, where there's always a big boat show going on.
Well, we decided to change things around a bit tonight. Instead of having me stand outside in the cold, we put Karen and Nolan out in the backyard tonight. Guys, I hope it's not too cold for you out there tonight.
Well, it might be too cold for us. It wouldn't be for you, Tom, because you're used to this sort of thing. But I'm telling you, mister, I don't think this is right. I just don't think so.
You know, Tom, it's freezing out here. Poor Nolan doesn't even have on a heavy coat. I do, but I'm still cold. Please let us come back inside.
Come on, Tom. This just isn't fair.
April Fools. Yes.
I guess it's
little joke.
Just a little joke here and there.
Yeah. You feel better now?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
much
sorry,
better.
Tom, but that's your spot.
Yeah, how about you? How do you feel out there?
I'm used to this, Nolan, as you
Right.
say. It is another cold night out back tonight. The clouds have moved back in, close to freezing on the old thermometer now, but as we go through the day tomorrow, warmer air is going to try to replace the cold air, and that's going to bring back more precipitation. And I'm even more concerned about what's going to be happening as we head into Friday night and Saturday morning. But first of all tonight, my weather watcher in the Buttonwood section of Hanover Township, Richard Sweats, tells me 37 degrees in his backyard now. Pat Weaver down in Whitehall, 27 at her place. It's still clear down there. And Clarence Brink in Montoursville tells me cloudy skies out that way and 38 degrees in his backyard now. Next, a view tonight of the Greenwood Hose Company on Burney Avenue in Moosic. Out back, it has become cloudy, 32 now, humidity 59%, the wind from the south at 7, and the barometer is holding steady now at 29.93 inches of mercury. 41 and 24, the range here today. 1 year ago today, we topped off at 78 degrees. Almost broke a record. Now next, it's being called some of the worst flooding in over half a century across the state of Maine. And as you can see from these pictures taken today, it's a major disaster. In the past 24 hours, the combination of up to 6 inches of rain and melting snow sent rivers raging out of their banks, leaving mass destruction and the governor no choice but to declare a state of emergency. Now, so far, no deaths have been reported. Boy, that is bad news up there. And here's the latest satellite view. First of all, look up here in the corner. Still raining in parts of Maine, although it is beginning to taper off now. But not only Maine, but Vermont and New Hampshire had some major flooding today, and it's going on tonight. Here's the storm system now crossing the Great Lakes. There's a cold front out ahead of it, and some rain showers and some snow showers. And as you can see now, the clouds now moving into eastern Pennsylvania, and there could be some snow falling by daybreak tomorrow across parts of our viewing area. Now, this cold front is going to be working its way across Pennsylvania slowly tomorrow, and then it's going to stall along the coast. And when that happens on Friday, it'll stay cloudy here. I think the rain and snow will taper off by then, but moist winds in the upper atmosphere blowing parallel along that front from south to north, and another storm system may try to form along that front, and we may go back into a snow situation here Friday night and Saturday morning, as there's going to be plenty of cold air once again over the state once that front inches its way across the state tomorrow and tomorrow night. So kind of a stormy weather pattern coming up over the next few days. For tomorrow, I think there'll be kind of some showers, a mix of rain and snow off and on, maybe a coating along the northern counties tomorrow. But look at the temperatures up close to 40, even into the middle 40s, down by Tannersville and Pottsville. The wind tomorrow kind of gusty, up to 25 out of the south. Sunrise time for tomorrow morning, 5:46, and sunsets at 6:29. Increasing cloudiness tonight. I think some rain and some snow showers tomorrow. The pavements, though, should stay wet. I don't expect any driving problems tomorrow. Then a cloudy day on Friday, and more snow will probably develop Friday night into Saturday, and that's no April Fool's, unfortunately.
Too bad. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Coming up, Tim Carlson with another one of those bad days in sports.
This time, more drug abuse talk involving a young baseball superstar.
I want it to be really cool.
Me too.
The couch has got to be a classic.
Definitely.
How about the dining room set there?
No, the bookcases.
Yeah, I can see that.
Good. We agree.
We make beautiful furniture affordable at Wilkes-Barre's Best. The Town and Country Furniture Galleries, Main Street, Wilkes-Barre.
This is just how I pictured it.
Pickway has sweet savings on girls' shoes in the newest spring styles. Scoop up savings on these fashionable button pumps, or take a spin with these exciting skimmers in soft pastel colors. And these fun-loving flats are deliciously stylish. Sweet treats now on sale at Pickway Shoes. This week, girls' pump skimmers and flats in tasty fashion colors, now sale priced only $7.88. Shop for value and selection at Pickway Shoes. They make fashion affordable.
Well, we're finding out more now about Dwight Gooden's situation, right, Tim?
It's not a good one either. And if you're a Mets fan, you have to be kind of depressed because it doesn't mean too many good things for your team starting out the season, but that happens sometimes. The latest star to fall prey to the drug abuse problem is New York Mets pitcher Dwight Gooden, who today agreed to undergo treatment for cocaine use instead of being suspended by Baseball Commissioner Peter Ueberroth. Gooden probably would have started Tuesday's regular season opener for the Mets against the Pirates, but now he's been placed on the 15-day disabled list. However, a club spokesperson said no one knows when Dwight will return. Today at the Mets spring training camp in St. Petersburg, Florida, General Manager Frank Cashin talked about Gooden's drug abuse problem.
It may be the best thing in the world that ever happened to this young man. He certainly has the great bulk of his career in front of him. If he does have some kind of problem, be it minor or major, it can be cleared up at this time.
Later, Gooden's agent commented on his client's intentions.
He is taking some positive steps to deal with it. We all are. And by that I mean that he will be entering a drug rehabilitation program, one of the programs approved by the Commissioner's Office.
Gooden is the second Mets pitcher to go on the disabled list since Monday when Roger McDowell, the ace reliever, went out with a hernia problem. The two combined for 31 of the Mets' 108 wins last year. Just a few exhibition games left for the teams down south, opening day Tuesday, but for now, the warmth of Miami. The Yankees visiting the Orioles. My turn to brag a bit tonight. Yankee fans, Ray Knight, infield base hit off the glove of Mike Pagliarulo. Eddie Murray will come around to score, and it's 2-0 Orioles in the fourth inning. There's Eddie. Then Terry Kennedy at the plate with a base hit to center field. It'll score Freddie Lynn to make it 3-0 Orioles off Yankee pitcher Eric Rasmussen. The Yanks' only run of the game off Mike Boddicker. If you can see it here, I don't know where this cameraman was, but he was in the cool of the night. A long homer from Mike Pagliarulo, his 6th of the spring. Let's go to the board for the final here, and Baltimore beat the Yankees 3-1. That's no April Fool's. The Orioles really did win. Pittsburgh over the Mets 8-7, and the Phillies beat Toronto 10-9. A 4-player quasi-major trade between the Pirates and Cards today. Bucks said goodbye to 4-time National League All-Star catcher Tony Pena. Pena, a lifetime .286 hitter. Coming to the Bucks from St. Louis, outfielder Andy Van Slyke, who you see hitting a homer right there. He's no All-Star, but a steady-type player. With Van Slyke comes catcher Mike Lavalier and pitcher Mike Dunn. I don't understand that deal, but then again, what have the Pirates done right lately? The Sixers playing the Cleveland Cavaliers again tonight. Philly won last night in Cleveland. Let's see if they did the job at the Spectrum again tonight. The Doctor with 20 points for the home team. He gets the nice pass inside on the finger roll. We're going to miss looking at those highlights next year, huh? The Cavs built a 7-point lead late in the third quarter. Ron Harper jams it home right there. Yeah. Then Brad Daugherty with the turnaround jumper right here, and the Cavs are doing pretty good, and he's got 24 points on the night, but the Sixers came back as Matt Gukas looks around and says, come on, guys, let's go, and they did. Roy Hinson scored 22 points underneath, and he just jams it home, and the Sixers proceeded to roll off 10 more unanswered points and grab the lead and win the game. There's the final, 108-99. Boston over Washington tonight, 103-86. New Jersey beat the Knicks, 121-120. Indiana took Chicago 99-94. Milwaukee over Atlanta 104-92. And Utah beat San Antonio 107-104. United States Naval Academy basketball player David Robinson has joined elite company as this year's winner of the John R. Wooden Award. It's presented every year to the nation's top college hoop star and student. Robinson played center for the Middies and averaged just over 28 points, almost 12 rebounds, and 4.5 block shots per game in his career. 7-1 senior also came up with a 2.7 grade point average, which is considered in the credentials for the award. The award, by the way, is named for former UCLA coach John Wooden, who won 10 NCAA titles in 12 years of coaching. Robinson, well deserving of the award. And speaking of getting what's coming to you, the mayor of Scranton, David Wenzel, proclaimed today University of Scranton Royals and Lady Royals basketball team day in the city. The honor coming on the heels of 2 fine seasons for both teams at the U of S. The Lady Royals finishing 3rd nationally in Division III, and the Men Royals winning another MAC North Championship. Our congrats. All right, NHL scoreboard tonight. Take a look. The Flyers over Detroit. Washington beat the New York Rangers, and Montreal over Hartford. Fishing game forecast for tomorrow. Back tomorrow at 6 with our sports star of the week. Good night.
Okay.
Okay, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. Still ahead, where do marshmallows come from? Plus the back way around the Big Apple.
But first, tonight's winning lottery numbers. The daily number is 613, and the Super 7 numbers are 5, 13, 19, 30, 39, 57, 59, 61, 71, 72, 73. We'll be right back.
Here's Joe Amato, top fuel champion and president of A&A Auto Parts.
Driving my top fuel dragster at speeds up to 270 miles per hour, I lay my life on the line. I need the best name brand parts available, so I rely on A&A Auto Parts stores for the highest quality parts at the lowest prices.
Gabriel Red Ryder gas shocks for cars and light trucks on sale this week, $12.95.
A&A Auto Parts. If I can rely on them, so can you.
See an A&A Auto Parts store near you.
Ah, the newest choice, Arthur Treacher's oven-broiled fish, au gratin. A perfectly broiled filet, topped with a new au gratin sauce of specially blended cheeses. A recipe that enhances the delicate flavor of Arthur Treacher's fish. Come try Arthur Treacher's oven-broiled fish, the superb classic batter-dipped fish, or the new filet of fish au gratin. Arthur Treacher's for new choices and your old favorites, too.
Finally tonight, you have already seen how the Newswatch 16 update crew observed April Fool's Day.
But we thought we would show you how some other people across the country mark this holiday. Take these people in Buffalo who tried to convince their neighbors that they had a marshmallow tree growing in their backyard. No one really fell for the joke, but we understand they're having quite a campfire up there tonight.
In New York City, they held a kind of backward celebration for the 1st of April. No, it's not a trick with the videotape. These runners are actually running backwards. It's the annual backward mile race around Battery Park in Manhattan. About 100 retro runners dodged garbage cans and amused tourists, and all for a good cause. Money raised goes to the New York Heart Association. April Fool's Day. One of my favorite days out of the year.
That's Newswatch 16 update for Wednesday.
For the team, thanks for joining me.
Good night.
Good night.